Welcome to MMA Enlightenment. Today we're going to cover Canelo versus Bivol. Canelo Alvarez's record mostly speaks for itself, but let's just give a ponder over it. It starts with 57 wins, 1 loss, and 2 draws. 39 of those wins are by knockout, 18 by decision, and his 1 loss is by decision to one of the greats, Floyd Mayweather. This man's title record goes on, but let's just list them off, shall we? WBA super welterweight, WBC super welterweight, WBO super welterweight, ring super welterweight, WBA middleweight, two-time WBC middleweight, IBF middleweight, two-time ring middleweight, WBC super middleweight, WBO super middleweight, ring super middleweight, WBO light heavyweight. I mean, the list just seems like it goes on and on about the titles that this man has been able to obtain as he just works his way through the division. And not to mention, before this man even got to where he was as a professional boxer, his amateur record is 44-2. So, not too shabby. The kid continues to improve and improve and improve ever since that loss to Floyd Mayweather. It seems like he's quite unstoppable. Although the Triple G fights, of course, they determine where your standpoint might be a little bit, but let's not get too much into that. Now let's cover Dimitri Bivol, who has a record of 19-0. 11 of those are by knockout, 8 by decision, and his current titles that he has held in past titles are the WBA interim light heavyweight, the WBA light heavyweight, and the WBA super light heavyweight. His record is obviously not as big as Canelo's, but this kid hasn't broken out into the professional boxing as quick as Canelo did. Even though they both are the same age at 31 years old currently, uh, Dimitri Bivol's amateur record is 268-15. So that kind of shows you why the man has delayed a little longer in becoming a professional, shooting more for the Olympic style boxing and towards the end of his amateur record. Now let's go over these guys' stats a little. So we got Canelo Alvarez standing at 5'7" with a 70.5-inch reach, and Dimitri Bivol standing at exactly 6 feet with a 72-inch reach. Now, having reach and height doesn't necessarily mean the advantage for Canelo Alvarez, because we already know how Canelo Alvarez has phenomenal defensive mechanics. Just he's so smooth the way he could shoulder roll, dip, duck, dive, dodge all the way through till the end, until you're either finished or unless you survived all the way to make it. It's gonna be a brutal one for Dimitri, but if the kid can stay in the pocket and in and out with his very good 1 and 2 piece combo that he's been showing, over the last few fights, his stoppages are, you know, not as epic as some of Canelo's have been. He's not breaking eye sockets like Canelo did, and the kid is putting people away though, so there's no denying that. He's able to get them body shots in and wear and tear his opponent down. So, but I believe that comes from a little bit of his background when you see that he has that Olympic style fighting in him. But I guess that we're just gonna have to let the fight have to speak for itself. Currently, right now, the betting odds are minus 490 for Canelo and a plus 360, and it's at 1800 for a draw. If if we expect another Triple G fight, um, but we'll see. I mean, I think smart bet is obviously going with Canelo. But if you're a gambling man and you feel confident in the footage that we could watch of Bivol's highlights and his past record, um, it's not too bad. It's not like the worst gamble. I think this is Canelo's first time coming up to a bigger weight class against a guy who's at this level that I wouldn't say that Canelo's at, because he hasn't been through multiple divisions, but if you look at his amateur record, the kid has done the same thing almost in the amateurs. But amateurs and pros are two different divisions. So there's a reason why we have superstars the way we do. So I can't back him up too much on that amateur record. So where you should put your money, Canelo. But if you want to take a chance and you want to win big, Bivol will get you a big paycheck.